Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Trinity Baker joining us live. We are excited to have our life coach and friend joining us here today, better known as the Trinity Baker. Go to the website. She's a life coach with a passion for the power of mindset. How are you doing today?
Well, I am amazing. I'm so happy and blessed to be back with you today. It's been a couple of months, so I'm excited to catch up and spend some of this amazing energy with you today.
Well, thank you. Same here. And by the way, those of you live on the podcast, she's also live on the Zoomcast, so I get to see her beautiful face today, which I love that, more personal one-on-one. I know we're going to start off and talk a little about New Year's resolutions, and we're going to open the line, obviously, lines to callers if someone does want to call in. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So I'm a life coach. I help people go from surviving to thriving. But the way that I do that is with the power of our mindsets. A lot of people in society teaches us that in order to be happy, we must fix the world outside.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you that does not create happiness because
Nope.
This question, who do you know that went and bought a new car, bought a new house, got divorced, got married, had all of these life changes on purpose, made all these changes and they're still not happy?
So true. So true.
That switch has to happen from within. And I think the most beautiful thing, and this is what I'm so passionate about, is that we all have a mindset. So we all have the key to complete happiness and stepping into our true potential. So when I realized that, I started to help people step into that true potential with the power of their mindsets and create that happiness and come out of survival mode. There are so many people in the United States and all over the world that live in survival mode. And we're not supposed to live there.
Nope.
Maybe back in like the caveman days where we had to literally survive, but we don't need to do that anymore. And you may like, hey, I am in survival mode, I'm not making enough money or, I'm dealing with a health or illness, but you can still thrive. And that's what I teach people. So that regardless of what is happening, we can thrive.
All right. And we are thriving today. Let's get started. Look, we just started the month of February. So do you want to talk a little about perspective on New Year's resolutions? Because we're a month into this year already. What is your take on this?
Yeah, the first thing that my clients will tell you is that I don't believe in a few of what society teaches us. And one of those is New Year's resolutions. I think it's wonderful to have dreams and aspirations and goals and desires, but I don't think it should wait until the first of the year. And I also don't believe that we should go from 0 to 100. So what I see and what I think we all see is that with New Year's resolutions, it's always 0 to 100. It's always that I'm going to go from completely, no exercise, not eating healthy, just being a couch potato, to going to the gym at 5 a.m. 5 days a week and eating salads for 2 meals and a protein shake. And we wonder why it doesn't work because we're creatures of habits. And with our habits, good or bad, with our habits, we create an identity that matches that. And so what happens on December 31st is you're this person who has all of these habits that have been created and conditioned for many years. And then on January 1st, you want to be a complete different person to support new habits. And when it really actually works the opposite, when a client comes to me and says, I want to be healthy and I want to lose 20 pounds, we identify what habits have created that identity of someone who needs to lose 20 pounds. And then what we do is identify habit shifts slowly because we're creatures of habit. We have to implement these things slowly. And I have successfully done this in many aspects of my life. I've had my clients and guided them and mentored them in doing this in many aspects of life. And it works because it's long lasting, it's attainable, and we shift our identity. So as you make small changes, and these small changes don't need to take a year to make, but it's week to week. It's looking at it day to day. And also with the New Year's resolutions comes that guilt of beating ourselves up when it's January 5th and we've fallen off track. And so it literally allows us to derail so quickly. And that's why the statistics show that I don't know exactly what they are, but it's a crazy amount of people fall off their New Year's resolutions and never talk about it again until the next year.
That's why the gym memberships offer such great deals. They're not dumb. They know they're not going to show up, but they kind of into signing up. So they still get their fees for the rest of those 11 months that you're not showing up.
Exactly. And I mean, you know what? Unfortunately, you're right, Jill. I think that's a great point is that society and these companies, they market in that way.
Yeah.
And so, not only do we have our own selves already going against us, we have everything else in the world going against us. And so what I do with my clients, I'll tell you, not one of my clients set a New Year's resolution, not one of them, because
Really?
we had already been working on all of these things.
Mm.
Now, that's not said that we didn't say, hey,
Yeah.
2020, what does 2024 look like for you? What are those dreams and those desires,
Mhm.
aka goals, right? And how are we going to achieve them? What are those milestones? By the end of quarter one, what do you want to see? End
Yeah.
of quarter two, what do you want to see? And so we do attach goals and dreams and visions and all of that, but we're already working together on I want to lose weight. I want to be financially independent. I want to not struggle with anxiety and depression the rest of my life. I want to actually step into that career that I'm excited to go to every day. I want to get up at 5 a.m. and work out. I want to start my day off the best it can. I want to not let people, walk all over me. I want to actually express how I feel. All of those common New Year's resolutions, my clients are already doing on a day-to-day basis. And I love that because, I had a client who had a dear friend say, hey, will you do a New Year's resolution with me and hold me accountable? And she said, I'll hold you accountable, but I don't do New Year's resolutions. And so she was able to share that mindset. And that friend is successfully implementing small habit shifts with the help of my client. So I love the sort of ripple effect that my work is already having, because that's my number one goal in the work that I do is teaching people that what we're taught is not working. We need to do something else.
Right. I love this. And I know you're shifted your training a little bit too since the last time. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So like I said, I'm super passionate about getting the word out about our mindsets. We all have that tool. We have a tool within us that costs us zero money and really no extra time, because we're just shifting our time to use the power of our mindset. Between our eyes is a beautiful thing called a brain. And the brain is so amazing. And within that is all of our mindset power. And so when I started my business, I was so passionate about the power of our mindset. But what I found was that a lot of people don't even know what mindset is or what mindset
Good
means.
point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of that like false positivity going around. Like it's almost toxic positivity where you're like, the sky, everything is amazing when things aren't amazing. And I'm so against not recognizing the things that you're struggling with. We got to recognize them. We got to sit with them. We got to feel them. And so I don't like false positivity or that toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed a way to show anyone who would listen to me not only what mindset is and the power that it has, but the power that you can have with your mindset. And so I created this. Initially, it was 7 days, and then I dropped down to 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got a hot spot of 5 days. It's a free 5-day training. So you are getting
Awesome.
an all-intensive 5-day free training on a complete mindset transformation. And the reason that I created, one of the reasons I created this is because I want you to see that we can change our lives from the inside out. It is not the outside in. It is the inside out. And I give you a tool for free in order to do that. And on top of that, Jill, so I made it like super easy, right? I understand that probably every single listener that's listening and everyone that's going to listen after this in the future is like, I don't have time. I don't have time to go to a website. I don't have time to, go look up stuff. And so I'm like, okay, perfect. Y'all have time to text. And because we text,
All
right?
day. Yeah.
And so what I did was I created, all you got to do is text a keyword to a 5-digit number, and now you get the complete 5 days for free. And so you can do it on your own. It also comes with accountability. That's all explained in the link. And so all you need to do to access this free 5-day training, whether it's for yourself or someone else who really needs some help right now and some hope and inspiration, is text the word and it's one word, My Mindset, MyMindset, one word, to 85100. So 85100. You'll get the free 5-day training right there and access to me as your coach and mentor through that free 5 days if you choose it.
One more time, tell us again.
So it's all one word, My Mindset,
Mm-hmm.
5100, free mindset transformation. Coming from a mindset expert can teach you how to go from survival to thrival.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Clearly you love what you do. What would you say is the best part? And what's your favorite part about what you do?
Yeah. You know what? Just seeing everyone that I work with and that I touch and inspire and have the blessing to connect with, seeing them completely transform their life with all of the power that's within them. I give resources. I have a coaching program. I work with individuals one-on-one. I offer that accountability, 24/7 accountability in between sessions, one-on-one coaching, community, all of these amazing things, right? But really, it comes down to them saying, enough is enough. I can't live like this anymore. I know I'm meant
Yeah.
for more. And them taking the resources and running with it and creating an entire different life. Honestly, when I first started my coaching practice and teaching what I do, I really had no idea how long a transformation would take. I really had to play it out, teach it, and just see what happens. And I personally have been mind blown at how quickly, when a client comes in and they take the resources that I give them and really show up to our weekly coaching sessions and utilize everything that I provide, they have a transformation within weeks. And it is a life-changing transformation that will be forever for them.
Beautiful. And by the way, how would you say mindset coaching does differ from life coaching? What's the difference there?
That's a really good question. Life coaching really focuses on how to change things externally.
Okay.
And I've used a life coach, and I would say, like, I am a life coach because I am helping my clients alter everything around them, get new jobs, buy homes, become first-time homeowners for the first time in their lives, so I am a life coach, but what's different with mindset coaching is I know that you can do all of that internally. And so as you step into your true self, those things change. As you step into your true self, you manifest and attract all of the changes you want externally. And what the difference is that you're not trying to change and control things in the outside, because we know how unpredictable life is. We can't change people who aren't ready to be changed. We can't make opportunities happen that aren't ready to be, not ready to happen. And so
Yeah.
when you turn all of your energy and focus internally using what the universe, whatever your higher power has provided us to change those things and step into your true self, everything you're wanting to change will change in the way it's meant to be. And so
Beautiful.
what I love is that it's not, I'm never saying to my client, like, hey, you need to go take this action and, ask this person to change, or it's always internal work, always internal work.
Well, let me ask, we have some people that emailed some questions and they just came over. People are asking, who's this? John from Indiana. How do you help clients overcome limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns? Thanks, John.
Oh, thanks, John. I love this question because it is literally mindset. Like that,
Yeah.
this question just puts mindset into perspective, is saying that if we are constantly, let's take, the dieting, for example, because this is such a huge topic in America, is if you're continuously telling yourself that you came from a family who was all overweight, you have been overweight your entire life, you yo-yo diet, nothing works, and dieting and getting healthy is hard. Those are all limiting beliefs, right? And so therefore your mindset is completely focused. It is focused on that and nothing else. So you may be taking the actions of going to the gym, trying to follow a diet plan, or seeing a nutritionist, and your desires are really there. You have those desires of wanting to change, right? But your limiting
Mhm.
beliefs are so overpowering that you can't really step into what you need to do you have to take those limiting beliefs and minimize them and refocus them. And so how do I do that? We got to identify what the limiting belief is. Multiple, usually around each area, there's multiple limiting beliefs. You know, you take money, for example. People will say money doesn't grow on trees. How many parents told them their entire life?
Okay. Ditto. Yep. Me too.
My God. You have that limiting belief from your childhood, and then you have I'm living paycheck to paycheck and there's never enough from now. And so those are just limiting beliefs. And so we are blocking what needs to happen with our finances and wealth. We're meant to be wealthy and abundant in finances, but we're blocking it with those limiting beliefs. And so let's take those two, for example, is that money doesn't grow on trees and I'm broke and I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And so if you take those two limiting beliefs, what is the complete opposite of that?
Yeah.
You live in abundance, and this world is
Mhm.
as much as you need plus more. And actually, money does grow on trees. Money is technically made of wood and paper, right? So, like, that was just the old cliche saying, and knowing that, like, that can serve your parents and the previous generations. Let's like end that now. And so, what we do, John, is we create an entire new refocus statement. And as you feel yourself saying, I don't have enough, or feeling those overwhelming emotions of not having enough and living paycheck to paycheck, you consciously have to use your mindset. It's all about intention to redirect that thought to the thought that serves you, that new one that we create together. And during each coaching session, we will kind of look at that. Like, do we need to swap that? Do we need to just kind of shift it a little bit? Like, there's something in this new primary statement or primary thought that's serving you. We can shift it. But also, what's really important to note is that we are creatures of habit. So shifting a thought that we have thought for our entire lives is really hard, which is why coaching is successful. And which is also why I include accountability and support in between sessions to my clients, because if we meet on Monday and Thursday is payday and all of those thoughts set in on Thursday, I know I'm going to check in with you and be like, hey, John, are you okay? Like, do you need some support? Remember, here is your refocus statement. And I may text it to you a couple of times on Thursday.
Good. So your text already available. We love that. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is there's so many limiting beliefs and there's so many embedded habits in us that disempower and don't support who we're truly meant to be. And so we can't do this alone. We cannot do this alone. You know, I have used a coach for many, many years. It is just so successful to have that person come in, give you the resources you need, get you back on track, keep you on track. And so by the end of a couple of months of working together, you are ready to go on your own.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. We also want to point out, we got a few other questions here. Are there any specific techniques or methods? This is from Rob and Beth Page. You specialize in as a mindset coach. Any specific techniques or methods that you specialize in as a mindset coach?
Really great question. I actually had another coach ask me this yesterday. It's like, what program do you use? What methods do you use? And the beautiful thing is that I've created them all. I've created them all using them and using them with my clients. And so, I've created this whole 3-month program that I use with my clients. And so my techniques are really like destroying those limiting beliefs, replacing them, teaching you what serves you, what doesn't serve you, identifying like what are those habits in your routine, in your daily life that are so disempowering. How do we switch them? I love habit stacking. So showing you that a new routine, such as journaling twice a day, I'll have a client come to me and I'll be like, okay, first thing you need to do, you need to journal every morning and every night. And they'll say, oh my God, I don't have the time for that. When really you're actually spending double that scrolling on your favorite social media platform, right? And so it's really identifying what can you replace disempowering habits with, and what empowering habits are you going to replace that with? And then I'll hold you accountable to that, because we all need accountability. How many times have you sought out an accountability partner for something?
Yep. Ditto.
Yeah, that's a really great question. I love that.
Awesome. And then we have Jen from, I don't know, she didn't say. How do you measure progress, and how do you measure progress in coaching sessions? And what is your coaching sessions, and how often do you recommend meeting?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Jen. Thank you so much. So measuring progress, my clients measure their own progress. They come in and we do a like overall life evaluation where we have our 7 categories of life. And I say, at a scale of 0 to 100, where do you feel your life currently is? And so they do label their areas of life and give me a little feedback on like, why do you feel like it's 20%? Why do you feel like it's a 10%? I've had clients come in and 0 to 100, they're in the single digits.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then we do that in the middle of the coaching program, and then we do it at the end of the coaching program so we can measure that success with numbers, right? But all of my clients get a weekly recap of their coaching sessions, all of the notes, all of the actionable things that we've decided you're going to commit to this week, how I'll hold you accountable. And so within those emails, you can follow the chain of what week, like what did you commit to last week? How did you do this week, and what was the outcome, and how was that achieved, and what you got from it? And so they're really measuring their own success. I'm just kind of guiding this conversation. And it's incredible. Success looks different for everyone, and we have different successes in each area of our life. So, for some people that's losing weight, some people that's gaining weight, some people that's finding a life partner, some people that's eliminating a relationship that hasn't been serving them for many years. And so everyone's different. But success is, it's a beautiful thing. And a lot of times, honestly, I'm picking out their successes because life is so busy. It's so important to have that person that says, hey, that's a success. We've got to celebrate that. Like you have consistently gone to the gym for 5 days straight in 20 years, and you did it the first time this week. Let's throw a freaking party, because that's what I believe we got to celebrate a lot. And as far as how often, I always suggest everyone start with the once a week, which is why I do my 3-month program. And that's once a week meetings and 24/7 accountability in between. And so once a week, and then I have clients typically drop down to every other week or once a month as maintenance. But then I have clients also that are like, I'm feeling amazing. I totally got this. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Ever need any support? But honestly, all of what I do is long lasting. It's identity. And so you don't go back to that old you. You just don't.
And then one other question says, how do you stay current with industry trends and research and mindset coaching? And then I think that's all we have time for.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really great question. I submerge myself in learning. It's so funny because looking back at my school years, like I graduated high school 2 years early for the purposes I hated school. I did not want to go to nursing school, but I did. I failed public speaking class 3 times, and here I am public speaking for a profession. And so how do I stay up to date and current is I am always open to information. There is not one person that brings a training that I'd say I wouldn't do. I'm always open to submersing. I'm always open to new ideas. And that's really why I created my own coaching program, is because I didn't want to take someone else's. I want to develop my own using everything that I've learned. And it's really that growth mindset. Like you're always growing. I'm always bringing my clients new techniques and new ideas. And it's just, it's a beautiful thing. And it's like a caterpillar to a butterfly. It just all evolves and helps my clients just gain all of those beautiful colors.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. To sum up for today, how did you want to leave off with your listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. So for more information about what I do as a coach, I also offer free discovery calls. So if you're sitting here thinking like, maybe I want to learn more about what does coaching do? What could it do for me specifically? Go book a free coaching call with me. Just go to thetrinitybaker.com. And at the tab at the top, it'll say connect, and there'll be a button where you can just book your own coaching discovery call. But also don't forget about that free mindset training, because that free mindset training really gives you a glimpse into exactly what I do. And so you can get with the keyword, my mindset, all one word, to 85100.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Really excited to have you here again, and great to have you back. And excited one more time. Tell us the code, how we can get our discount.
Yes. So it's my mindset to 85100.
Perfect. Thanks so much. You have a fantastic day, and looking forward to the next time we get to connect.
You as well, Jill. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to all of our listeners, stay tuned. We'll be back with more. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.